What's going on, everybody? Triple Crown 24 back today on a Thursday, and I gotta say, it has been a wild week. You guys didn't see my last video. I took over the PSA side of submissions from Mike O for the group submissions, and he's doing SGC, so it's been great getting to work with Mike and a lot of the people in the submission group. Getting it set up is a lot of work, and finally getting to start to put together my first bulk submission, or now as they're known, value submission. It's exciting. I'm really looking forward to actually sending it off and starting to get some results. So with that, I got in a care package yesterday, and I wanted to make sure I made a video on it, as well as a couple of pickups I've had recently, because this care package blew my mind, and I'll tell you the story here in a minute. So a couple of the cards I got in, this one was a care package from Andrew Mazza in the Super Collectors group. He hooked me up with this Miggy Orange from 2017 Chronicles and this Gypsy Queen logo swap, which my 19 stuff is starting to really fill up in the 2-row box that I keep it in. So I probably will have to take some of the 19 stuff and move it into my 2020 box. So 19 has definitely been one of the best years in terms of being a completionist with Miggy and trying to get as many different cards as possible. I think I'm at like 240 different cards from the year 2019 alone, and that's barely scratching the surface. If I had to guess, excuse me, I'm sure that there is plenty more out there that I am missing, especially a lot of the higher end stuff. So I appreciate that, sir. Thank you for sending those my way, and thank you for thinking of me. So I got that in today. This one came in on Monday. This is a 2020 Topps Heritage White Refractor. So these are normally black refractors, but because of 71 Topps being black borders, Heritage this year, they decided to go with the white refractor instead. So this was a really cool card that I had my eyes on really since Heritage came out. I cannot tell you how many times I've been outbid on these, but finally secured one. So it is nice to have this one, because I don't know how often you'll see those types of cards pop up going forward. From personal experience, I don't like my chances if I don't get it pretty close to the time that they come out. So that was a very nice pickup on eBay for me. So here's the note that came along with the care package, and I'm going to kind of give some background information on this. So I'm part of a Facebook group that is for Detroit Tigers collectors, and really we do kind of all of the Detroit sports. Each Detroit sports team has its own separate group, but sometimes they kind of spill over. The Tigers group, I believe, is the largest one in terms of number of members, but I could be wrong. But regardless, it's a really nice tight-knit community. It's one of my favorite groups that I'm in on Facebook. I check the post in there daily. A lot of my higher end Miggies I win through contests in there, and sometimes I'll buy them off of people in there. Sometimes I'll show off some of my own cards, and then I sell some Tiger stuff that I get as being a dealer. So I would say that my reputation as a Miggy super collector is somewhat known in the group now, just because of how many times I've gone after Miggy cards in there. I've kind of developed that reputation. I don't know how many people know about my YouTube channel. It's not something I've advertised in there. I've definitely alluded to it at points, probably, if I had to guess, but it's not something that I actively advertise by any means. So what I did advertise, and for a completely different reason, was my Miggy checklist, because there was a post in the group recently where I posted my checklist because people were looking for examples of how people catalog their collections. So I put mine out there because I thought that I have a couple things in there that are cool, and some people have told me are useful. So that might sound like information that is completely irrelevant, but I promise that it does have some connection to this. So here's a note. I'm sure you've had a chance to read it by now. One of the first things that you'll see in it there is this gentleman, his name is Christian, sent me a black border Topps card because he saw my previous video where I talked about going after the Topps black border run. So he sent me a black border card, and this is like the black border card of Miggy to get, in my opinion. and that would be the 2012 Topps. And it's pretty much because this is the year he won the Triple Crown. So I have been very active in pursuing some of the parallels from this specific card. Now, in 2012 Topps, they didn't have as many different parallels as you have now. You don't have Independence Day. You don't have, I'm trying to think of the other ones, like the Memorial Day. You don't have the vintage stock. Not as many parallels. It was mostly just the golds and the blacks as well as the platinums. And then sometimes they gimmicky ones, like this year was the gold sparkle in 2012. So this one is numbered to 61, but this being the card from his Triple Crown here, this is one that I've really been looking for. It's the one that I really wanted to get above all of them. I mean, I want to get the entire run, as I mentioned before, but to get this card, it's just, these don't pop up ever. So I was just completely blown away by this card alone. But it gets crazier, and it's hard to believe that after showing you that card, because I did get that card, but I also got all of these cards as well. So as you can see here, he says hopefully there's some extras you don't have, and when I saw this, I was kind of going through it, and some of them I was right away identifying, okay, I don't have these, and then some of them, like, I think I have these. So eventually I ended up messaging him and, telling him thank you. And Christian messages back that he said that he went through my checklist. So it was my checklist that I posted in a completely unrelated post. I wasn't like looking for Mickey cards. It was just putting it out there because someone wanted to see examples of checklists. So he goes through, and every single card in this stack here was new. And just the time and the thought that goes into doing that, and looking over my checklist, which it's big. I have over 2,000 cards, so there's a lot to go through, to kind of comb through to see, all right, does he have this one? Does he have that one? And I mean, the time alone, obviously I love the cards. Adding the cards, he added 32 total cards to my collection, including that black border. But the time that it took to kind of go through and assemble all these, and the thought that went into it, just completely out of the blue, didn't ask for my address or anything. It was just something that popped up totally by surprise. It's heartwarming. It's a deed in the hobby that is, times are tough right now for a lot of people. And this made my week, especially because, like I mentioned earlier, this was the only card that I had planned coming in this week. I have one more card coming in, but it's a PWE, and with how shipments have been lately, probably won't be here till next week. But regardless, I mean, it's perfect timing, and just, it's unbelievable how much thought and sincerity went into this. So Christian, again, thank you so much. I can't articulate it well enough, I don't think, just how meaningful that is to me. Plus, I get the note for what is now becoming my card community PC binder. It's less and less of a YouTube PC binder, because I'm starting to get stuff from Twitter and Blowout and all those different places, Facebook as well, as you see there. So I'm just going to kind of go through these. There's a lot of cards, so I won't spend too much time, but I want to kind of identify each one. So here you see a Gaudy mini from 09, navy blue back. I am a big fan of those late 2000s Gaudy cards. The Exponential 3 from Upper Deck X 2009. Some more recent stuff here too. Got the Miggy Metallic Snowflake from last year's holiday. Got this 4-in-1, really solid players on this card here. You got Vlad Guerrero, Hall of Famer, Vernon Wells, really good player. Miggy, a future Hall of Famer, and Adrian Beltre, also a future Hall of Famer. Got a base Topps Co-Signers 2008. All Upper Deck team of 6 UD. Base 2014 Topps High Tech, first year that they brought back the Tech brand, I believe. Here's a Baseball Heroes. This is the black charcoal version. Got Chipper and Ryan Braun on that one. This one is pretty sweet here, and you're going to see a few cards like this too that just adds another layer on top of everything I've already mentioned to this care package. So this is the Lava Flow from the Black Friday packs back in 2013. And these are the types of cards that they do not appear. You're most likely going to see these cards on a sport lots if you get lucky, or on a COMC with someone who's just trying to kind of clear out some of the inserts that they've acquired and kind of move them in a place where they don't have to put in as much work. So for player collectors like me, unless it's near the time of release, some of this stuff, it's very difficult to find it closer to now rather than the actual time of release. So here's a blue. This card is awesome. 2013 Prism, which adds to this rainbow that I have going on. So it's nice to add to that. This one is pretty sweet. Another 2012. That's the orange refractor, which the Tigers kind of nameplate here is an orange on 2012 Topps style cards. So the orange works fantastic with that. Here you got a Ginter mini from 15 A and G back, as well as the black border from 14. Couple base cards here. We got the Goodwin Champions 09. Got the SPX. Beautiful shine on this card here. I've never actually seen this card before. I think that is 2007. I believe this one is 06. The Swing Kings. I have the relic version of this, but didn't have the base insert. Little refractor here from 07 Topps Chrome. Got a 15 Gypsy Queen mini. 15 Donruss inaugural 81 design. Little Panini Elite here, 2014. And a couple of Cracker Jack cards as well. Don't have too many cards from the Cracker Jack products in the Super Collection. And then you get some really hard to find stuff, like these Bowman parallels. They're from 2014. Again, same deal as the Lava Flow. You just don't always see these pop up. That makes them it's difficult for player collectors to kind of acquire some of these. So the green is to 150 and the gray silver, I'm not sure what they call it, is to 75. So those were pretty awesome to see one of those. This is one of my favorite cards in the bunch. It would be the 2003 Topps Gallery Artist Proof. It's kind of got a refractor finish to it. Just beautiful shine on that card. Got a Archives decal edge. They've done a decal edges several products. I think this was the first one that they did it in the 2010s. Really tough one to find here. This is the Blue Diamond from Walmart. These were retail exclusives back during the 2011 Topps Diamond giveaway. I have the Target version of this, but I did not have the Walmart. They don't pop up all that often, so that one was pretty sweet. Nice 2011, another Walmart exclusive here. This is the retail black, so it's kind of just it's a black border with the background has also kind of got a gradient finish to it. Cutting Edge Stars from Bowman Platinum. This one is pretty freaking sweet. You got Roberto Clemente and Miggy on the same card here, the Then and Now. They did this again, I think it was in 16 Heritage where they put these two on the same card, but this was the first time. I actually like this one a little bit more. I think this is that's a pretty sweet card. This looks like a regular 2012 base, but it is actually the Tigers team set one. So those little blisters that you see maybe at the ballpark or sporting goods stores in your local area, it's going to be whoever your local team is that they put out. These are really difficult to find because most of the time they're still sealed as team sets, or they're being sold as team sets. So to get the singles is very tough. I've personally bought 4 of them before and busted them open to just get the Miggy card out, and then I sell the rest as singles. So 2012 was one that I did not have, and I mentioned my affinity for the 2012s before, so that was very much appreciated. And here we have the 2014 Spring Fever. I believe these are a wrapper redemption. And then this one made me laugh because this is a 2008 SPX, which I had a stack of Miggy cards just sitting aside and that I thought were duplicates. This one's actually got a little eraser mark on it. But I had this card sitting right there, so I never knew I actually had this one, but this is the one that Christian sent. So this is the one that I will use towards the Super Collection here. So I love SP Authentic, just beautiful looking card. So that's my stack. And the time that I got to go through all these yesterday and catalog them, it really made my week. It was just a really fun afternoon yesterday when I got to go through this, and it just shows how great the hobby community is. There's a lot of great people out there, and this was just incredibly nice and generous. So I appreciate you guys watching this, especially if you stuck until the end. I wanted to kind of go through this more in depth than a normal pickup video, just because of the time and thought that was put into it, and kind of take a little bit more time and go through these cards once again and really appreciate them. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll be sure to see you tomorrow for the podcast or whenever for the next video. But until then, have a good one.